It would be very helpful if you first try to solve the problem yourself before watching this video.
Question number 4. Which of the following statement is true? Answer choice A, we have limit as x approaches 0 from right-hand side. What does function f of x plus 1 approach to? So, let's say x approaches 0 from right-hand side. Okay, what about x plus 1? All you have to do is add 1 each side. Then x plus 1 approaches 1 from right-hand side, right? Let's say x is 0.01, right? Since x approaches 0 from right-hand side, it could be 0.01, 0.001, right? Those values. If x is 0.01, all of this value is 1.01. If x is 0.001, x plus 1 would be 1.001. It actually approaches to 1 from right-hand side, right? So, as x approaches 0 from right-hand side, x plus 1 approaches 1 from right-hand side, then function, as x plus 1 approaches 1 from right-hand side, it approaches 3, right? So it is not 2, it is equal to 3. Does that make sense? What if as x approaches 0 from left-hand side, same thing, as x approaches 0 from left-hand side, all you have to do is add 1 here. So x plus 1 approaches 1 from left-hand side. So as x plus 1 approaches 1 from left-hand side, the function approaches 3, right? So this is not 2, this is a 3. Does that make sense? Answer choice C. This time we have limit as x approaches 1 from right-hand side. What does f of 1 minus 2x approach to? Okay, so x approaches 1 from right-hand side. Here we have minus 2x, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply each side by negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Then we have negative 2x approaches 1 times negative 2, negative 2. When negative number is multiplied, this direction actually changes. So negative 2x approaches negative 2 from left-hand side. Okay, think about this. If x is, let's say x has to be a little greater than 1, right? So let's say x is 1.01. So if x is 1.01, negative 2 times 1.01, that's negative 2.02, right? That's actually a little less than negative 2. If negative 2 is here, negative 2.02 is somewhere here, right? So it actually approaches negative 2 from left-hand side. Does that make sense? So whenever negative is multiplied, this direction actually changes. Okay? So let me continue this problem. So we have negative 2x approaches to negative 2 from left-hand side. And here we have 1, right? So we have to add 1. Then 1 minus 2x approaches negative 2 plus 1, that's negative 1 from left-hand side. So let's look at this graph right here. As 1 minus 2x approaches negative 1 from left-hand side, the function approaches to 0, right? So this function approaches 0, not 3. Okay? Okay, and answer choice D. This time, we have x approaches 1 from left-hand side. What about 1 minus 2x? So as x approaches 1 from left-hand side, what about negative 2x? Multiply each side by negative 2. So that approaches negative 2, direction changes, right? And 1 minus 2x approaches to plus 1 minus 1. It approaches to negative 1 from right-hand side, right? So as 1 minus 2x approaches -1 from right-hand side, what does function approach to? Function approaches to 3, right? So it approaches 3. So the answer has to be D.